Hey, how are you today? It's Mel. It's Monday. It's um, LinkedIn Lifetime. Oh, and just as I say that, the birds start chirping outside. I could close my office doors, but it's boiling up here today, and I would like the fresh air. I'm talking today about one of my favorite topics, which is menopause. And why do we need to talk about menopause at work? October is menopause month. Didn't really know there was a month until recently. I thought there was just a day. And World Menopause Day is on Wednesday, 18th of October, so 2 days away. So if you're not having conversations about menopause in your workplace, Wednesday could be a great day to start. I know it's only in 2 days, but let's face it, better late than never. So, why is this so important? So many reasons. Menopause is something that affects the majority of the population. 51% of the population are women. And we will, if we live to the age of 50, we will go through perimenopause and menopause. It's a natural phase of life when our hormones start changing. So menopause itself is one day. It's that day that marks 12 months from when we had our last period. And that time before it is perimenopause, and the time after it is postmenopause. Perimenopause, in Australia, the average Australian woman goes through menopause that one day at the age of 51 or 52. There's a lot of us who go through it earlier. I was 47 when I went through menopause and started perimenopause in my early 40s. And what made me aware of it was I came off the pill and my hormones just went batshit crazy, which is probably not the professional medical term for it, but that is how it felt. I thought I was losing my mind. I had hot flushes, night sweats, brain fog, memory loss, a whole bunch of other symptoms that I won't bore you with the details, but there were a lot, and they were very uncomfortable and embarrassing. And I suspect it's that embarrassing feeling that so many of us have is why there are so many women and a lot of men who say, gee, it's really brave to be talking about menopause. Seriously, it's not brave. It happens to many of us, most of us. Currently, 20% of the workforce of most workplaces have staff going through menopause at the moment. So have a think about how many women are you working with who are in their 40s or 50s. They are all, well, maybe not all, but the vast majority of them will be going through perimenopause or postmenopause right now. And that has probably having an impact on many, many, many of them. And I know that because I know that 80% of women who go through menopause report having symptoms that negatively impact their work and lives. And, we know from research and data, in particular the 2022 Menopause and Workplace report, that 1 in 10 women who are undergoing menopause while employed have left their jobs because of debilitating symptoms. I suspect the other reason they're leaving their jobs is because they don't have the managerial support that makes them feel they can stay. So what I want to talk about today is why we need to be having this conversation at work. And if you're somebody who is going through perimenopause, my sweat right now is not from menopause because it's really hot in my office. In case you're wondering, my hot flush phase has thankfully passed. But, as we approach menopause, our hormones start to go a bit crazy, and that can show itself up in a whole heap of different ways. It can show itself up in, as I've mentioned, in hot flushes, in night sweats. Night sweats, in case you're wondering, they lead to a significant lack of sleep. And so we can't show up and be our best when we are not feeling our best. And a lot of us who are in our 40s and 50s are feeling very underwhelmed at the moment because of menopause. So the more we can be supporting our colleagues and our family and our friends who are going through this, the better off we'll be, both as friends and as colleagues. One of the other things that we need to consider when it comes to menopause is that according to I'm just reading my notes here, according to the Australian Institute of Superannuation Trustees, menopause costs women more than $17 billion a year in lost earnings and superannuation, because menopausal women experience symptoms leading to long-term absences from work or forcing them into early retirement. According to the Menopause Alliance Australia, 13% of women leave the workforce due to menopausal symptoms. So it's a really serious thing. And this phone's just gone off because I forgot to put it in focus mode. I'll do that now. And so the repercussions of this definitely impact women involved, but they also have massive repercussions for your workforce and your organisation. So have a think about what happens when people don't turn up to work, either physically or emotionally. Productivity falls, focus falls, profit declines. Other people who are there are left to pick up some of the shortfall that's slipping through the cracks. And so the more we can provide support to women who are going through this, the better off you will be as an organisation and as within the teams in the organisation who have women who are impacted. So on this World Menopause Day and World Menopause Month, I would love for you to think about what is it that you can do to better support the women in your workplace and to provide more support to the people in your life who might be going through perimenopause or menopause right now. If you have a look below, my website, melkettle.com/menopause, has some free resources that you're very welcome to download. This link actually directs to something else. So if it doesn't quite work the first time, just hit it again and it will. It was a little bit glitchy this morning, but download those resources and see how you can provide support. At the end of the day, you don't need to do a lot to provide support to women. You need to be kind, you need to be compassionate, you need to understand that they might not want to talk about it, but be there if they do. Other things you can do in your workplace to raise awareness are to put some signs up, to put some information about resources on the intranet, on your intranet, so that people can go there and find out where they can go to get support. There are a lot of places that provide great information for women who are going through it and who don't maybe recognize that that's what's happening to them right now. You can direct them to your employee assistance program. You can direct them to the Australasian Menopause Society website that has a directory of doctors in Australia and in Southeast, I think in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and a couple of other places that specialise in menopause, that have done additional training in women's health and menopause, because a lot of doctors are not aware of what is going on and will not have the latest information. So if you find a GP who comes recommended through the Australasian Menopause Society, then you're starting out getting a lot more help there. The other thing that I really would love to encourage you to talk about is to just start having conversations in your workplace about menopause. Tricky conversations can be difficult, I get that. We need to remove the topic as a taboo topic. We need to start having conversations about it. Women like me need to start sharing their stories. You know, when I was going through perimenopause, I thought I was getting early onset dementia because I would forget things all the time. I was doing a keynote at a conference with about 400 women and a few men in the room, and I was halfway through and I totally forgot what I was going to say. Luckily, I made a joke about having menobrain, and fortunately, you know, the majority of the women in the room understood, but it could have been worse. Like it could have been so much worse. I'm really grateful that that time of my life is over. So if you're going through menopause right now, hang tight. It's not. Talk to your doctor, get some help. If you're not going through menopause for whatever reason, but if you have women in your life, either at work or at home who are, educate yourself. Find out what it's about. Get some help so that you can help understand it and so you know that you can support them. As I said earlier, the best way to support them is to be kind. If you're managing women who are going through it at the moment, then have conversations about how you can adjust their work, what their work environment looks like so that it can be more supportive to them. We need to be having open and honest conversations about this because menopause is not going anywhere. Let me tell you that. So on this World Menopause Day, in 2 days' time, on the 18th of October, I challenge you to start the conversation in your workplace. I've got some resources, as I mentioned. Download those. If I can help with anything, please get in touch. I would absolutely love to be of support if I can be. Thank you very much for listening about my favourite subject. If I can, be of help, please get in touch, and I'll see you in a few more days for another live. Probably not Wednesday, maybe Thursday. See See you then. Bye.